There are but a few places on earth spectacular, where it becomes the rite of passage for the ambitious travelers, the courageous souls, to all have the one and only royal experience. That day when you look deep into your heart and leap into an ancient world so very different from your own, where magic, beauty, and love are shared forever, then you will have a royal experience. There is just one place on earth where the people make you feel a part of their kingdom, where you just might volunteer to awaken spirits, enrich minds, and work alongside communities to build, motivate, and inspire. This is truly the royal experience. When you dream of a different world, beyond the ordinary, beyond time, discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
Next on Cast for Impact. We spoke to Revival T about his latest music project.
Noma ngihamba noma uyashayela noma uyogibela ikhumbi awuvikeleke ngodinga ngokuthi ukwathi kushayela noma leyo khumbi leyo driver ukahle liso lakhe lekubheka kanjalo i-apple of his side.
And Sanvoya Ngozi takes us to the throne of grace through worship. It's a holy vibe this Sunday, 5 p.m. on Gospel Impact, only on Eswatini TV.
Yiningi imbangela dekugula ngetinso. Umuntu angagula ngetinso ngekuthi kutholakala ukuthi sonesifo sashukela njengoba ngishilo. Isifo sashukela lesingakontroleki sigcina siphazamisile disefo tethu letitholakala etinsweni. Umuntu lo sebenzisa tidzakamiva kungaba tshwala, kungaba ligwayi, kungaba timbida imithi lethile. Ngiko lokugcina kubangele umuntu ukuthi agcina anenkinga yetinso. Nekulimala ke khanze ukuthi umuntu uba sengodini thide uyopha ulahlekelwa ingadi kakhulu noma umuntu akanathi kahle emanti emtimbeni umtimba so yasokola awusakhona ukuthola emanti lakanele lokho kuyenta ukuthi agcine anenkinga yetinso.
What do you think the best part of traveling is? Is it the food, or is it the conversation, or is it the sights and sound? If you're ready to explore, we are ready to show you the best way how. We'll give you access to the best luxury getaway sites in the Kingdom of Eswatini, and of course show you vacation sites that suit your budget, because you do not need a lot of money to actually have a great time. Join us on the next adventure on Buhle Bethu, only on Eswatini TV.
Bambelela siyajika Ehlelweni lakho embili kanye njalo ngelisonto ngensimbi yesithupha ntsambama sitobeke sihlalisene nenkampane yetemagesi Eswatini Electricity Company sikulethela basemagesini bakhulumisa ke indzaba ye-token identifier rollover TID kanye naletinye ke tindzaba letitsintsa temagesi. Bambisana nenkampane yetemagesi Eswatini kusendiwa lo mkhankaso wekuresetha onke ema-prepaid meters embili kanye njalo ngensimbi yesithupha kusihlwa ngelisonto bambelela siyajika nenkampane yetemagesi embili kanye luhlelo ulethelwe inkampane yetemagesi Eswatini.
It has just gone 8 o'clock Central African time. Good evening and welcome to the news bulletin at 8, brought to you by Eswatini TV. I'm Sanipo Ngwane. I'm with Nomakabe Zongambule. We're coming to you live from the Hospital Hill Studios in Babane. For your top stories at 8, let's dive straight into it and take a look.
Federation of Disabled People in Eswatini FODSWA President Bongani Makama says one of the challenges faced by persons with visual impairment is that there are a very few of them that have been employed. Banks and car dealerships have wasted no time but engaged the newly sworn-in members of parliament and shared with them their services. And the Kingdom of Eswatini is the very first ever country to do the comprehensive post-introduction evaluation of the COVID-19 in the region.
Hello, and now for the news in detail. We begin here. The Federation of Disabled People in Eswatini FODSWA President Bongani Makama says one of the challenges faced by persons with visual impairment is that there are a very few of them that have been employed. The President said these when associations of visual impaired persons and Deputy Prime Minister's Office commemorates persons or people with visual impairment in Eswatini International White Cane Day.
The International White Cane Day is commemorated on the 15th of this month yearly. The Federation of Disabled People in Eswatini FODSWA President Bongani Makama says visually impaired persons are not treated equally with other Emaswati.
Even those who are partially sighted, they are employed in a riskful employment because they go there knowing that they won't be accepted and they don't disclose that they have any impairment because of their condition. Otherwise, they won't be hired. So we are saying private sector, the government and the CSOs, let us make means of making sure that persons with visual impairment, they are employed.
The Deputy Prime Minister's Office Under Secretary Lomakosi Dlamini elaborates about some of the milestones taken by the country to ensure that visually impaired persons have a better life.
In 2018, the Office of the Deputy Prime Minister promulgated the Disability Act, which advocates for equal opportunities for all people living with disability. It also advocates for the formulation of the Secretariat as well as the National Advisory Council, which is a body that works with disabled organizations across the Kingdom of Eswatini so that they formulate strategies and frameworks that will enable all people living with disabilities to get equal opportunities and access to all services like normal people.
FODSWA President says persons with visual impairment are a large number when compared to other forms of disabled people, as they are estimated to be over 78,000. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla Manzini.
Banks and car dealerships have wasted no time but engaged the newly sworn-in members of parliament and shared with them their services. This happened at Sbanesama Hotel, where MPs had been gathered to learn about various topics which include finances. Speaker in the House of Assembly, Jabulani Mabuza, says MPs were taken through Circular Number 2 of 2023, which speaks to their exit packages.
They say the early bird catches the fattest worm. Banks and car dealerships have put this into practice as they have engaged members of parliament with their services just a week after their swearing in. Speaker in the House of Assembly, Jabulani Mabuza, says the legislators have also been equipped with financial skills.
Sicele nje libandla lase finance nelibandla lase parliament ukuthi alide nje libathathe through bahlonishwa abantu okhona ku-understanda lokuthi le circular it's about what utawuthola ini kanjani nangabe kukhona.
Mabuza says Parliament invited the Minister of Finance to inform MPs about what to expect in their exit packages after their term of office. He also says they want the legislators to know what the future holds for them. He further says they invited financial services providers to empower legislators with different skills. He says this include saving and investing platforms. Mabuza further says the legislators were empowered on the etiquette of Parliament. At the time of compiling this report, MPs were still in a closed session discussing matters related to their exit packages. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela with Temba Shabangu, Sibane Sami Hotel, Ezulwini.
Ngaba residents assaulted stock theft suspects whose motor vehicles were found loaded with carcasses of 2 cows they were accused of stealing and slaughtering. Ngaba Community Police Douglas Lamini says the number of livestock that has been stolen is alarming.
The 2 suspects in the matter, a female and a male. The motor vehicle that was transporting the carcass was stopped few meters just before reaching the Pigspeak-Babane Highway. Ngaba residents say they knew whom the NEP suspects were working for. They claim the kingpin in the stock theft operates butcheries in the Babane outskirts. Ngaba Community Police Douglas Lamini says a veterinary officer informed the resident that the cows belong to a Ngwenya family, while the female suspect claimed the cows are hers. He adds that the female suspect has a no deep tank number.
But when the way transfer namhlexeni inkomo takulo ntombazana yena lolo lamuti nangimbuta lo ntombazana ngisithi inkomo lothi tika master bathi le vet ti transfer taya kuwe.
On the other hand, Ngaba residents say the certain family has been stealing their livestock for quite some time.
Basebela tinkomo laba semathi malanga khulunyiswana nabo namhla ke kube inhlanhla lokuthi babanjwe batholakale ngoba lizibithi sesititholele semahlandla uke wabi ngalankhaba.
Another resident says she lost 4 cows and the certain kingpin has done nothing to compensate the family. Another resident adds that the cows were slaughtered in a forest near a dam. There was a misunderstanding between the residents and the police officers, as the residents complained that stock theft suspects were freed by the law. At the time, the suspects were loaded in the back of the police van. The residents threatened to burn down the motor vehicle that was ferrying the carcass. A certain man riding a motorbike came with documents allegedly giving evidence that the cows were not stolen. However, the residents could not take any of his explanation. Deputy Police Information and Communications Officer Nosipho Mnguni says police investigations are underway to determine if the cows were stolen or not. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Ngaba.
The Kingdom of Eswatini is the first ever country to do the comprehensive post-introduction evaluation of the COVID-19 in the region. The Acting Director for Health Services, Fortunate Bembe, says the Ministry of Health's greatest achievement is to be amongst the first countries to secure the COVID-19 vaccine refrigerators, which allowed the ministry to respond in real time. Bembe was speaking during the high-level briefing of the Ministry of Health and partners.
The government of Eswatini, in partnership with the World Health Organization and other stakeholders, have taken stock of the national response to COVID-19 pandemic and the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine through the comprehensive post-introduction evaluation of the rollout of the vaccine. The Acting Director for Health, Fortunate Bembe, says the ministry was able to roll out the vaccine at the earliest point amid the challenges of securing the vaccine.
Lasente kahle kakhulu khona nje uba siyabuka nje ukuthi silive besite kahle lama siyesibita ngama.
We are here to look back on how the ministry was able to implement the COVID-19 national response, especially the COVID-19 vaccine rollout. One of our achievements that we can share is that the ministry was able to assess the refrigerators for the COVID-19 vaccine. We received the equipment with the help of our partners. We can report that while we were responding, it was difficult to procure the vaccine due to challenges beyond our control.
The World Health Organization's representative in Eswatini, Dr. Susan Tembo, says this whole rollout presents a learning curve from the public health medicine point of view.
At this point, we are encouraged that the Kingdom has built in a strong evidence-based monitoring element of the rollout, starting with real-time data collection, and provides daily updates, conducting 2 interaction reviews at strategic points, and right now, the comprehensive post-introduction evaluation.
This survey shows government's effort towards attaining universal health care coverage. Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Matapa.
The judge of the Supreme Court, Jacobus Annandale, says it is important for knowledge about the Small Claims Court to reach every Liswati. Judge Annandale says this court is here to ensure that everyone has access to justice without being handicapped by not having money for legal fees. Judge Annandale has said this when opening a Small Claims Court workshop held at Spanesam Hotel on Friday.
As the Kingdom of Eswatini has established small claims courts around the country, the judiciary has found it vital to educate staff about those courts.
A widow and an orphan, where do they find the money to go to the magistrate's court with their lawyer? Small claims, you don't need that money. And it is a super good thing. And I would really like to see the Small Claims Court in Eswatini to become much more vogue and in place to deal with claims.
The United Nations Development Programme, which funded the workshop, had this to say about those courts.
This workshop, we hope, will help the judiciary and actors in the judiciary and in the small claims court to be able to provide better services more efficiently and thereby, of course, enhance access to justice.
Deputy Registrar of the High Court, Kanyisile Masilela, explains why they had to have this workshop.
Mainly, we want a uniform application of the law throughout the Act. We don't want where we see in different regions that are doing different things from each other. So we are here to make it standard.
This court is one way Eswatini is using to ensure that the ordinary Liswati has access to justice and eliminates financial constraints. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosima Vimbela with Temba Shabangu, Ezulwini.
The Loop Commission says its conversation with the acting Prime Minister, Chief Mkwako Kametse, has been encouraging. And the Loop Commission Deputy Managing Executive Director, Winnie Lesmelane, says they are very grateful for the commitment of the acting Premier and the Ministry of Health's Principal Secretary, Kanya Mabuza, who are ensuring that the health facility is recognized by government to international partners as a valued and strategic partner. Government has issued a statement saying no agreement has been reached for now.
The Loop Commission says it is no longer able to provide services as it has been doing in the past. The health facility attributes some of its challenges to lack of government support. TLC Deputy Managing Executive Director Winnie Lesmelane says they are in talks with Acting Prime Minister Chief Mkwako Kametse and Ministry of Health Principal Secretary Kanya Mabuza. Lesmelane says initial conversations with the two have been encouraging. In a press release, Lesmelane says they are grateful for the increased pace and intentionality of engagements in the past few weeks. She says they pray that they will be accepted as one of the children of the Ministry of Health. Lesmelane says their board of directors recently passed a resolution instructing the executive team that TLC can no longer trade recklessly and use overdrafts and loans in order to close funding gaps that were due to national emergency response crisis. Government issued a statement on Thursday confirming the negotiations with TLC but made it known that nothing has been agreed on.
For Eswatini TV News, Tim Mavimbela, Babane.
Right now, let's pass by the commercial desk and we take a commercial break right now. And when we come back, the news continues. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
There's no price like the ShopRite price, which means you'll get low prices on everything you need. Like a tub of Stork Country Spread for only $42.99 and Sun parboiled rice for just $129.99. The ShopRite price, the price you can trust always.
At Spar, we've worked hard to get you low prices on great products every day. Like 2-liter liquid fruit for only $39.99 and Nola mayonnaise, original or tangy, for just $32.99. It's low prices for you every day at Spar.
At Eswatini TV, I'm Sanepo Ngongane, and if you've just joined us, we continue with the news. The youth of Eswatini is requesting financial institutions to trust them with funding in order to start businesses because they say they always have their business plans in order. They were part of the Startup Grind Entrepreneurship program that was held at Manzini Library on Thursday.
Young people were part of the Startup Grind Entrepreneurship training program, where those with existing businesses as well as those who have dreams to start a business were invited. The young people say due to high unemployment rate in the country, they will grab every opportunity that educates them on entrepreneurship.
We are facing kuba trusted with funding. And we are trying a business plan. Labanye bosomabhizinisi labanye bakhona labayithathako le idea yakho but bese ayisiyebi yakho.
Because imvamisa abantu labasha sebanalo le-awareness yokuthi imisebenzi ayikho, so we need abantu labasha ukuthi sivuke sizume sicale ama-business. So ama-programs kanje sida kakhulu ukuthi anike abantu labasha i-platform also ne-information yokuthi bakhone ukungena ku-business industry.
Logo kuyasita kakhulu because it also motivates us and kuyaphinza futhi kusinikete nenhlakanipho because here we learned a lot of things.
Some say they plead with financial institutions to trust them with funding to start their businesses because their business plans and ideas is clear on the idea of their businesses. Zinhle Matsabula, the executive director of Asavela Group, was the guest speaker of the day.
Each individual is coming to have involved in a life as an individual. So what is going to happen is that we are actually developing a community whereby we'll hold each other's hand. So it will depend ukuthi loyo individual or loyo business lanayo ine timfuleti zenga ini. It does actually need us to actually assist where we are because we are actually saying to the.
She says that she believes in unity amongst the youth and they will share common ideas once they know who offers what and when. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian Msibi with Sumuva Shongwe, Manzini.
Well, in the same breath of business, we shift gears now into the business desk. We take a look at financial indicators to give us a sense of how markets fared today in a financial report.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Welcome back. In the world of sports, we begin our sports roundup with golf, where the Undersecretary in the Ministry of Health, who is representing the Principal Secretary, has expressed the importance of sports in the society in contributing to the fight against malaria in the country. The Undersecretary was speaking during the End Malaria Fund Golf Day, second edition, held at the Royal Swazi Spa at Eswatini.
Beginning our sports roundup with golf, where the Undersecretary in the Ministry of Health, Mnamsira Mjali, who was representing the Principal Secretary, has expressed the importance of sports society in the contribution to the fight against malaria in the country. The Undersecretary was speaking during the End Malaria Fund Golf Day second edition at the Royal Swazi Spa Eswatini.
The support received from the private sector through the fund is enormous, and such initiatives as the Golf Day, which today was held, which has doubled in effort this year, serve to encourage us to take ownership of our challenges.
Tandile Ngumaro, who is the chairperson of Anti-Malaria Fund, explained the reason why they have joined hands with the sporting codes such as golf.
How we do it with sport and kumqoka, because sport is a unifier. Lo sihleli lapha nje sidlala igolufa. Kunetinkampani labanye baya compete on a normal day. Thina sing Alpha Z in financial services, baneng who you could say our competitors probably in the room playing again. But the competition in this gwethu sonke yindzaba yethu sonke ukuthi iphele le malaria.
The eventual winners of this year's End Malaria Fund Golf Day were Ubombo Sugar Golf Team.
I think first of all, I would say we are happy just to contribute in funding the End Malaria program. I think that's the priority. And then secondly, it's to win as well and raise the brand of the Ubombo Sugar. I think we are very excited. It's our first time to join this tournament, and we've played well, and we promised next year we'll take part and in terms of contributing, in terms of funding them.
At the moment, the Malaria Fund has so far received funds ranging around 180,000 emarangeni. And in football, M10 Premier League games will be back to action this coming weekend, with Mbabane Highlanders eyeing victory against Ilovo. According to head coach Dumsan Makanya, it will be a great chance to see the new signings, how they can cope in the new colors of the team.
Director, management, and the players.
To the players, Banelis Kunze, who is from Babane Swallows, and the story, who is from Red Leopard, but has previously played for Babane Highlanders, and they are already feeling at home.
The
game will be played at Mailuga Stadium on Saturday from 3 p.m. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabisum Sonera, Mbabane.
Well, with those sports news, we hit the home stretch of the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. But before we go, here's a quick reminder of our news making headlines tonight. Federation of Disabled People in Eswatini FODSWA President Bongani Makama says one of the challenges faced by persons with visual impairment is that there are very few of them that have been employed. Banks and car dealerships have wasted no time but engaged the newly sworn-in members of parliament and shared with them their services. And the Kingdom of Eswatini is the very first ever country to do the comprehensive post-introduction evaluation of the COVID-19 in the region. Well, Kingdom of Eswatini, that's how we reach our conclusion of the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. Thank you so much for choosing to stay with us. We shall now cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the rest of the team here at Eswatini TV. For now, it's good night and God bless.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder.